So, today, I was writing on my lore and I realized something. Something pretty important. No one actually knows how this world looks. At all. Except for me. So, I thought of this fun video idea in a sort of video style which hopefully won't take me a lot of time to edit, so that means some more videos. Is that I'm going to be building a huge part of the Scar lore part 1 world in this flat world that I'm currently in. These videos are going to be pretty short and probably not very like filled with content or anything, because otherwise I'm never gonna finish a video. But I thought today we could kind of go in together, see what we're gonna do, maybe do some time lapses. I have no plan for this, by the way. I have a vision of a library, and that's the entire inspiration of this video. So let's get started. So first of all, I think instead of planning the entire thing out, I'm gonna start very simply by building LOLLYS and Scar's tiny little house. They don't have a very big house because their entire base is underground. But I think it's not going to be too huge. I might make it a little bit bigger to make it a little bit more sensible. Anyway, let's switch to a little time lapse and a little voiceover of me starting to build this house, and I can maybe tell you a little bit more about the lore, because if there's something I love doing, it's talking about lore. So this is like the entire reason I'm making this series, so that I can talk a little bit about my lore. I love lore. Right, that did not feel like 47 minutes, but 47 minutes have passed, and I have finished the little base house, which actually ended up becoming a lot more detailed than I thought. I was planning to just make it a villager house, like the basic one, and add a little bit of detail, but I ended up going a little bit more, because why not? And I feel like Scar would have added a moss roof. Anyway, let's have a little tour. I'll get to this later, but first, inside, we have, we just have like a little cooking area. This is where some of the scenes happen, where Scar is like up late at night and debating life. I ended up putting trapdoors here because I got really annoyed about the fact if you stand here, you'll often go up here. But you can just put them down if you want to sit, and you can put them up and then you won't walk there. And it's not annoying with the door because they just line up. Anyway, up here I also added some like meat storage because why not? I have 2 little windows, crafting table, that's canon in the lore. Some things aren't perfect, but that's fine. Scar spends a lot of time here in the first couple of chapters, and we have some steak just chilling there. Anyway, if we go down, there's a trap door that usually is closed if they're down, but you know, now it's open. And I originally was just planning to do like a basic Minecraft storage where you just basically do like boom and then on top of each other, but then I realized that wouldn't physically be logical because Scar wouldn't be able to open the chest. So we ended up with this. I did allow myself to do like use slabs as little shelves, so technically it should still fit. And I also added a bunch of barrels because I needed to fill up the space. And as you can see, I also textured the walls. Aqua, please be proud of me. I'm very proud of myself. But yeah, this is the way that I thought of that would be logical and very chaotic because I feel like Scar would place the chest like this. Then for the rest, there isn't a whole lot in the cave because in the lore, nothing really happens in the cave that much except them chilling here. So maybe I'll add something if I do think of something important, but in reality, this is just their bedroom, so they don't really do that much here, but this is the storage, which is a lot bigger than in the lore. And then in the actual lore, the beds are placed one over here and then one over here. But I thought like it's way more fun to just put them together. It's just a little bit more interesting. So yes, technically it's not correct because Scar's bed would be over here and Lolly's bed would be over here. But I just like the use of space a little bit more. But yeah, I used TNT to hollow this out, and I textured basically everything, and I hung up lanterns. And I did this little trick with the torch and the slab, and then it kind of looks cool. Yeah, I don't know either. I kind of just did it, and I was like, yeah, sure, that works. But for the rest, there isn't that much interesting about it, and we have a floating ladder using barrier blocks, as you can see. I broke this so many times while trying to texture this, but that's fine. Because in the lore, it's a hanging ladder that's hanging down, and I didn't want to use anything because I think it looks very cool. Okay, if we then head outside, you can see that I also textured basically like a little bit of the surrounding, did a little bit of terraforming, and the roof is also textured. And I did something that I don't do very often. I built a tree, which actually looks very cool. I think I did a really good job. I'm very proud of this. Another thing that's canon that I didn't add is the house is actually like up on a little bit, so it's basically more like this. And then in one of the scenes, Scar's sitting here with Lolly like on the edge. But I didn't want to add that because I really liked how it is, and I realized that a little bit too late, so I actually ended up just adding a little bench here. And then they can just sit over here and have a great time under the tree. I also added like a bunch of texture to the tree. I was planning to use oak, and then I was looking up some pictures and I saw a lot of people using stripped spruce, so I used that as well. And I also ended up adding some more sprucey bits, and I added some trapdoors, and I kind of just went mad and added some lanterns. I wanted to add some glowberries, but I found out that glowberries do not place on leaves. I've learned another new thing. Anyway, as you can see, very cool, and I'm very proud of this. I also added a little bit of path, but that's probably going to be replaced. I just needed something to just have it as a vibe. But yeah, again, these videos are going to be quite short, but that's all for now. And if you guys are interested in more, I shall be building more. So if you enjoyed, maybe consider leaving a like and telling me in the comments if you have any questions about the lore. I'm gonna now think about what else I'm gonna build. Goodbye!